Hello everyone. In this wonderful session, we are going to discuss some wonderful concepts. For loop, very beautiful, thrilling concept in C language programming. Of course, you will find this loop, this concept in other programming languages also. Then we have continue and break statement. Okay. So this is my program. We will understand these concepts through a working program to find the sum of first n natural numbers. I have explained this program using while loop and do while loop. Looping means you perform repetition of one or more statements of a single statement or a block. Block means a collection of statements enclosed within braces, opening brace and the closing brace. Here I have two blocks. One is the main block, the block under the main function. The other one is the for loop block, this one. Even though this contains only one statement, still I have enclosed it within the block. Okay, it is a good practice. Now here I am using I. This is the loop control variable. This will go on incrementing up to the value of n until it reaches n. Okay, the initial value of I is 1. That is the first natural number. Then you add that 1 to sum. Correct? Initially sum is 0. So 0 plus 1 is 1. You store that 1 in sum. Once you store the value in sum, you increment the value of I. Try to understand the exact sequence of operations here, how the sequence flows. Before you enter the loop, sum is initialized. Its value is 0. You come here, I will receive the value of 1. Then you add 1 to sum. Sum will be 1. Then you increment the value of I. I will become 2. That is the next natural number. Then you check the condition whether 2 is less than or equal to n. Let us assume n is 5. You have to find the sum of first 5 natural numbers. So 2 less than or equal to 5 is true. When condition is true, you go to the statement in the loop. So one thing I forgot to mention, initially when I equal to 1, before entering the loop you have to check the condition. Okay, so this is how the sequence will flow. Initial statement, then condition checking, then the statement within the loop, increment the value of I, check the condition, execute the statement in the loop, increment the variable, check the condition. Okay, in this for loop, this statement I equal to 1 will be executed only once. It will be executed once. But this condition I less than or equal to n and this I plus plus will be executed multiple times. Okay, this I equal to 1 will be performed initially before entering the loop. And if you want to enter the loop, the condition must be true. Only then you can enter the loop. This is the starting point of the loop. If you want to enter the loop, you can enter only through the condition, not from here. Okay, you initialize the value, check the condition, then enter the loop. Okay, now 2 less than or equal to 5, true. So 1 plus 2 will be 3. 3 is stored in sum. Now I value is 2, it is incremented to 3. Then check the condition, 3 less than or equal to 5. So 3 plus 3 will be 6. 6 is stored in sum. I was 3. Now it will become 4. Okay, this I plus plus will make I to 4. 4 less than or equal to 5. You add 4 to 6. Sum will be 10. Now 4 will become 5 because of this I plus plus. 5 less than or equal to 5. True. Add 5 to what was the previous sum? It was 10. So 10 plus 5 is 15. Store 15 in sum. Then once again go to I plus plus. I plus plus will make I as 6. Is 6 less than or equal to 5? False. You come out of the loop. When the condition is false, you will come out of the loop. As long as the condition is true, you enter inside the loop. So this I equal to 1 will be performed initially, and it will be performed only once. This has to be carefully remembered. So here this I am explaining how it is done. The variable is initialized first, then the condition is checked, then the statements are executed, then the loop variable will be modified, either incremented or decremented or some other way it will be modified. For statement is a looping statement. Okay, all these things happen in the starting line itself. The initialization of the loop, condition checking, modifying the loop variable, they all happen in the same line. So this is another beautiful program using which I will demonstrate continue and break statements. I am also taking the for loop, but continue and break statements can be demonstrated using while and do while loops also. Okay, now I want to print the even numbers up to 30, and if that even number is divisible by 3, I won't print it. And I have written a loop that executes 50 times. Now someone can ask, only 30 numbers you have to check, why 50? Correct, you don't have to write for 50, you can just write for 30, that is sufficient. But I have written for 50 because within the loop I can break the loop. When the number exceeds 30, I can actually break out of the loop. That's why, just to demonstrate the breaking statement, this break puts a break, stops the loop from further repeating, completely stops the loop and takes the control out of the loop to the statements that are out of the loop. That is break. The loop won't execute again. Simple. It is as simple as that. Whereas continue, it will just stop the statements following continue from executing within the loop. Okay, these if and print, if condition and print, they are following this continue. Okay, they are after this continue, written after the continue. So if continue is executed, this will not be executed. What will happen? This continue just takes the control to the next repetition of the loop, next iteration. It will just take the control to the increment section. Now when will this continue be executed? When the number is divisible by 3. Okay, when the number is divisible by 3, it won't be printing the number. Correct? Anyway, all odd numbers, they are not going to be printed. Only the even numbers are printed. But if the numbers are 6, 12, 18 and 24, they are also not printed. Even though they are even numbers, they will not be printed. For example, if number is 6, this section will not be executed. It will automatically go to 7. And again, if the number is 12, this will be true, so continue will be executed. The number will not be printed. 12 will not be printed. It will go to the next number, 13. Okay, all the odd numbers and those even numbers divisible by 3 will not be printed by this program. Now initially num is 1. Is num greater than 30? No. Is num %3 equal to 0? No. Is num %2 equal to 0? No. So when num equal to 1, all the 3 conditions are false. Nothing happens. You increment num. Num will become 2. Is 2 less than 50? Correct. 2 is less than 30, so this condition will be false. 2% 3, 2 is not divisible by 3, so this condition will be false. This percent operator can be used for divisibility checking. Okay, if the remainder is 0, then that dividend is divisible by the divisor. A dividend percent divisor, if it is equal to 0, then a divisor evenly divides the dividend. Okay, here the dividend is num and the divisor is 3, and when num is 2, 2% 2 will be 0, correct? Num will be printed, then num becomes 3, 3% 3 equal to 0. It is divisible by 3 and an odd number, so you go to the next number 4. Is 4% 3 equal to 0? False. 4 also is less than 30, so this is also false. But 4% 2 equal to 0, that is true. So 4 will be printed. All even numbers will be printed except those divisible by 3. When continue is executed, whatever follows continue, that will not be executed. The control will go to the increment section. Okay, but loop will execute for the next value of num, whereas break, loop is permanently terminated. That is the difference between break and continue. So we shall stop here. If you have not understood break and continue, please rewind this and listen again. And once you use it repeatedly, you do it yourself, you will understand better. Thank you.